Americans don't think that the economy is doing too well. What does that mean for your business? Stay tuned and we'll share. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, and welcome back to the WorkHARDaholic Show. I am Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, and today, I want to go back to when they told you you can learn from others' mistakes and others' activities without having, to pay the price for it. So that's what today is all about. I want to take a look around at a couple things that are happening in the economy and the tech sector that we can learn a lot from as entrepreneurs and small business owners. So I want to start off by talking about Nvidia. I am hoping at this point that if you're listening to me or if you're watching, that you've heard of Nvidia. If not, then maybe I haven't been doing my job that well, or maybe you just haven't been tuning in. So Nvidia has been the stock that's basically been holding up the tech sector. So it's had its ups and downs, but it is currently, just overwhelmingly, it has 80% of the market share when it comes to tech, right? So the thing that they're really known for is GPUs, which is our graphic processing units. So they make these semiconductor chips, right? And so for those of you who were around for the event we don't like to speak about back in 2020, you'll remember that conductors were a really big thing. Like the auto industry had to pause because it couldn't get parts from, our Asian counterparts. And so Nvidia has, like I said, 80% of the market share. They're doing all kinds of things. And here's the thing that's been interesting for them. Not only are they the leader in the tech industry, I think part of their reason for success is because their chips are also being used in healthcare. So for those of you who've heard so much about Wegovy and they're using these chips to produce and create what they're developing, right? So Nvidia has had like a massive hold on the tech industry. And so, but here's the thing, you would think that means that, what do you think that means for the other Magnificent Seven, as they're called? What do you think that means for them? Do you think they're just sitting back and going, twiddling their thumbs and thinking, well, NVIDIA has it all, we can't catch up? No, that's not what's happening. As a matter of fact, those big players are stepping up. So Amazon has come out with two new chips, Trainium and Inferentia, right? And so they're trying to shake up the market. And even just a few days ago, AMD also announced that they're launching a new chip. So here's the thing that you have to think about, right? Um, in your industry, in your field, a lot of times we go, should I jump into this industry? Should I morph into this industry? Should I add this on to what I'm doing? Should I even get started? And I have these conversations with you entrepreneurs out there. And so I get to hear a lot of different things from you all. So some of you are like, well, I had this business idea, but there are 10 other people doing it, so maybe I shouldn't do it. And then there's some of you who I talk to, and you're just like, I have this business idea, and no one else is doing it. And I want you to know, in all honesty, as a consultant, I am more concerned when you're launching into an industry and no one's in there. No one else has thought about it. No one else is doing it. You see no activity when you're doing your research, and you're the only one. For many of you, that sounds exciting. You're like, oh, I'm an industry leader. I'm the alpha in this, and it's great. Here is the thing. Frankly, I don't even like being a beta tester because what that means is you're there with you're basically working out all the kinks, and you're normally paying much, much, much more than the people, the non-early adapters. The people who come on later, you're like they're catching onto the bandwagon, but you know what? They're getting the better deal and they're getting the better product, frankly. Right? So when you're thinking about the industry that you want to be in and you're looking at your industry, you have to know, is it like AI, which is emerging, right? AI hasn't been around for, let's put it this way. AI has been around for some time. But AI as a massive industry where people are participating and engaging, it's a whole new frontier. So it's just getting started. So the fact that Nvidia has a leg up now could mean nothing 5 years from now. It might mean nothing 3 years from now, let alone 10 years from now. There's still a lot of room for others to move in. And so I love to use the example of Best Buy and Circuit City, right? So here it was that everyone thought Circuit City had everything on lock. And then they allowed Best Buy to come in and eat up the market share to the point where they displaced them. Then I look at other industries like frozen yogurt, right? The whole froyo movement. Anyone remember when there was like a frozen yogurt place popping up on every corner? To the point where I always talk about the fact there's a place downtown where there was a Sweet Frog, which everyone knows because they were one of the really big players in the industry. Another brand came up right beside them, and I'm in Richmond, Virginia, and so another brand popped up right next door to them, which I thought was the rudest thing ever. And so, but that meant there was a bubble. It got to be a bubble. Sweet Frog continued. The other one died and evaporated. What happens to frozen yogurt? Melted, liquefied, whatever, it's gone, right? So when you're looking in your industry and you're trying to figure out, should I hop in or not? You're doing that little double dutch, like, do I go in? Do I? Should I? Would I? Could I? That sounds like it should be a song. Okay. Here's the thing, you have to think about what stage the industry is in, right? So I just finished talking about Nvidia AI, new industry, totally new, right? So as far as being this moving, pulsing beast, totally new, right? Some of the technology has been around for some time. They're every day they're making it a little bit better, right? And so, and in this industry, there are names you probably even heard of. There's a Hugging Face. I love this, right? It's a machine learning company. So when we talk about the AI from the movies adaptive that learns from you, they're the ones who are leading the charge in that. Have you ever even heard of them before? Well, you know what? Salesforce has heard of them. Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Intel, Advanced Micro Devices, Qualcomm, and even IBM are investors in that company. So there's activity that you don't even know about. So as it pertains to your industry, as I'm saying, first, you need to know what's the stage of the industry you're getting in. If the industry is, it's already past the curve, it's not just emerging, it's kind of almost plateaued, or it could even be shrinking. You need to know where you're coming in because that's going to determine like your pricing. Do you want to get into it at all? Do you think you can get in, treat it like a cash cow, make some money and get back out again? So, investing a lot of money in a technology that won't even be around tomorrow, let alone in the future, like you have to think about all of those things before you invest your energy, your effort, your time, or your thought. Okay. So I love this as a great example of something that we should all be looking at as entrepreneurs because in your industry, where is it for you? Right. So I do small business consulting. Right. That's why I talk about all these business related things. It's even part of the reason why we have the show because one on one, my time is limited. So I want to be able to give you all the business news and information, resources, tools that you need. So we have the show. But how many shows are out there? How many podcasts exist? How many YouTube channels? But yet and still, like YouTube, for an example, is blowing up. It's not diminishing. I don't even think it's reached its peak yet. That's my assessment. I think it's still on the rise. And I think there's lots of room for more players with different voices, right? But once again, like I talked about the Froyo example. If you are into retail, retail is at a questionable point right now. There's so many options that are virtual. You're competing with Amazon, your low basement Walmart. We've been talking about how the fact that Dollar Tree, Dollar General are all going through some massive changes, right? Some of them are shutting down altogether for a variety of reasons. And then you have Dollar Tree, which I believe this is my assessment. I believe Dollar Tree is making some bad decisions right now. And so I'll explain to you why, and then I'll move on. So here's the thing: Dollar Tree was became popular because it was a place you could get relatively decent items, right? You weren't necessarily looking for brand names, but it was like Big Lots. They got these big shipments of miscellaneous stuff, and you got in there as soon as you can, and you got something that you might have paid $5 for a dollar. Whoopee! You were perfectly satisfied. But then because of inflation and other things that were happening in our economy, people of higher income started to shop Dollar Tree. right? Everybody's trying to save where they can save. So it no longer became taboo to be seen in like the Dollar Tree. People who were making a lot more were shopping there. This has confused, as far as I'm concerned, the owners, the board behind Dollar Tree, because now first they increased their price by to $1.25. That's a 25% increase. That is crazy. But people still going there. All right, great. You managed that one. Kudos to you for surviving your very large price hike. Oh, but now they're taking it further. Now they have items that are $3. I don't know what else beyond that. But I do know on their horizon is that they're having items for $7. And I mean, they're going to have a bunch more for 7, not just one or two. All right. And so we'll see if they survive this chaos, but they're going to lose part of their market. But maybe, potentially, they're going to get more middle class, higher class, those who have, when I say higher income, not class, higher incomes, and maybe they'll start shopping there. Or maybe when their money is getting better, they're going to go back to shopping where they've been. Anyway, the point for you, the reason we share this is because I want you to learn from the example of all these others. So first, when you're contemplating diving in, realize what stage the industry is in, okay? You always want to know what type of player are you as well, right? We always say, are you the Walmart? Are you Kohl's or Target? Are you Lord and Taylor? So then there's a pricing structure. And that's also why I think Dollar Tree is losing its way. I think it's forgetting who it is and who it serves. But maybe they're rebranding themselves. We shall see. So, but you start by figuring out what stage the market is in, and then you're going to determine what part you play in that role as far as the market itself. And then you determine how much to invest. If it's short term, it's short lived, you don't want to sink everything into it because it's entirely too risky. All right. So keep your eye out on AI and tech. We'll keep sharing that information. But also, when you see these things happening, learn as much as you can from their examples. So right now, Nvidia in the lead, but Amazon is coming to them. AMD, we shall see. They're also in the field, but there are other players out there making things happen. So be aware. Don't forget, it's time to invest some dollars so that you can have more for the future. All right, so we'll be right back after this commercial break because we're going to talk a little bit more about what America is feeling about their finances versus their spending habits, and even how that impacts you as an entrepreneur. Be right back. Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preached word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
Listen, Attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
Welcome back. Okay, okay. So we had a nice long conversation there about what's happening in AI and tech and some other industries for you to get a better idea of how you should be in your industry, how you should assess that, and how you should move forward accordingly. Okay, now here's the thing. Especially as an entrepreneur, it's important for you to know how people are spending their money or if people are spending their money at all. So there was a recent study that was done, and it showed this really, they call it the great financial divide. Because here's the deal: 72% of Americans state that they're living comfortably. All right. That's almost, three-fourths, 75, almost 75%. 72% say, hey, I'm living comfortably, and their spending is matching that. 77%, which means these people are overlapping, right? Are dissatisfied with the economy and expect total doom. So here's the thing. I've mentioned before eons ago that psychology was like going to be my major, right? Before we changed and really stuck with business. And so there's this thing called cognitive dissonance. I've mentioned it before. I'm going to mention it again. So here's the thing. It's like, I'll use the example for those of us who are trying to get healthy. You need to lose, you need to get healthy. You want to lose weight. You know the things you need to do. But yet and still, you're still snacking in the middle of the night. You didn't turn down that chocolate cake. You're doing and eating things that you know are the opposite of what you need to do in order to what you want to accomplish. That's actually why we often feel guilt, because we're doing exactly what we know we shouldn't, right? So that cognitive dissonance is knowing better, but not doing better. And so every day it's like an internal battle within yourself. You got it? Okay, I'm gonna give one more example and then we're gonna move along. Before we talked about a rapper who I'm totally forgetting who they are. But this rapper kind of made some kind of changes in their life, and they were saying that they were talking about the misogyny of the songs that they themselves dance and sing to or rap to, right? So they're talking about women and all this stuff, but then on the other hand, he's thinking about, we're talking about women, but I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, and this doesn't match up. That also goes into cognitive dissonance. Let me slow down in my excitement, right? So this is where America is financially. We're having this cognitive dissonance. Most of us believe that the economy is not doing well. And so, yes, there are political ramifications, right? We know we have an election coming up, but that's not the part I really want to focus on. As an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, this affects you because normally when we think that the economy isn't doing well, we save. We don't spend as much. We at least cut down on luxury items, right? We get more into staycations instead of like buying the boat, the yacht. Instead of really jet setting around the world, we get like a squirrel and we hold all our nuts to ourselves. That's normally what should happen when we believe that the economy isn't doing well, because we don't know if it's going to be inflation or recession. We don't know necessarily what's coming. Most of us believe something is coming. Okay? So in theory, we should prepare for the winter, right? That's the idea. But 72% of us believe that we're living comfortably, life is good, and so we're spending accordingly. Now, keeping in mind, there is no way that you can have 72% and 77% and most of them not be the same people. This is a cognitive dissonance with our finances. So what's going to happen? So I am not sure, because here's the thing that I have learned about we Americans. If you're watching another country, just take a moment and learn a little bit about us. We are not good savers. We spend. And so we live paycheck to paycheck, the majority of us, right? And so we don't understand the concept of investing, saving our dollars, and making sure that we're going to have money in times of need. So beyond toilet paper crises where you had money and you just couldn't get the stuff, like literally not having resources available. And we have so many signs that have been lining up for us, and yet and still We have not. For some reason, the marketing of America still means to us to buy the red bottom shoes, to buy the new Tesla, to buy this, to buy that, to keep consuming and not to produce or not to make money, right? And so I need us all to pause and think for a moment what this means. So that's from the consumer side. But you as a producer, you as a service provider, right? What does this mean for you? I need you all to be considering how you can diversify how you make your money. So I always like to say we're looking at trends, we're looking to see what's happening, what's going on. So what are the things that are recession proof? There's a whole podcast called Recession Proof, just FYI, right? What are the things that you can do that you can sustain? So in the midst, if at the point where people aren't going to spend for the luxury items, what common everyday items can you provide? Is this a good time for you to start doing government contracts? Because no matter what, they have to pay it. If you got the contract, if you're going through Apex now for a federal contract, or you're going through the state, so in Virginia, it's EVA. If you're going for one of those contracts, then they have to budget it out for the year, 3 years, 5 years. And so you're guaranteed that money, even with a government shutdown, eventually they'll pay you. This might be a good time to consider that. So I really want you to take the time to think about your industry. If you're an employee at a Fortune 500, you know what this means. That at some point in time, they're going to start firing if they're not doing it already. And that could be you. So how do you make yourself invaluable to them? You figure that out. We're talking about entrepreneurs, but we want you to be thinking about your futures as well. All right? So keeping that in mind, that most people think there's gloom and doom around the corner, how can you be the one who's hoarding the items that they're going to be needing so that you can have income coming in even in the midst of inflation, recession, etc.? Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. I have some exciting news to share. So we'll see you in just a moment. Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? Well, you know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family. Got a question about your small business? Trying to figure out what to do to start a business? Are you a C suite executive trying to figure out some leadership tools and resources that you need? Well, we've got answers for you. Submit your questions, concerns, thoughts to admin at workHARDaholics.com. That's WorkHARDaholics.com. And you might hear your question, or at least the answer to it, on our next episode. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so today, I don't want today to feel like a pessimistic show. I really want you to have the right information so that when your neighbor might be potentially homeless, it's not you. I want you to have exactly what you need to be successful. That's why we have the show. So now, on that note, here's a little revelation. Many of you as entrepreneurs, even beyond that, I have been coaching so many people recently about about their salary. And so having these conversations about how you assess to know what you should be getting paid, how you make sure that your manager and you are on the same page, or your board, or your ED, or whomever you might have, understands your value, understands your worth, and is paying you accordingly, how you negotiate your salary. And then on the side for entrepreneurs, are you charging the right price? Because here's the thing, there's a mentality that people have. If you're not charging enough, if you're charging too little, people think that means that you're garbage, that you don't have experience, you don't know what you're doing, and you're trying to beta test them. And most people don't like that. Right? So I always use the example because of the fact that my heart is all about taking care of my community. I used to often do, like at least once a month, a free seminar. And I mean free, zero, gratis. So this is eons ago, unfortunately. Well, it is what it is. It's eons ago. And something I learned is that people see zero as no value. That is literally what how they see it. And here's the thing, when I went to look at the studies, that's exactly what it showed. Studies showed that people assumed that things that were free meant that they were of no quality, and that's why they were free. They just couldn't accept the fact that out of the kindness of your heart, you were doing great things for them. There's always a catch. So at that point, even for those ones that I have in other communities where they might not have as much money, I still charge. It won't be the same that I charge everyone else, but it's still a charge so they can have skin in the game, right? So with that in mind, for those who are like, I don't want to overcharge, I don't want to charge too much, I want to, they're not, who's going to buy it? Well, if you don't believe in you, neither will they. It's really the bottom line. And you really should assess accordingly. So one of the things that I do, and it's something I share with my clients as well, is that I'm not sharing my hourly rate, but if you want to know, you could ask. I'll probably tell you it's all the same. So it's not it's not little, right? So my hourly rate. And so then if I provide a service to someone on the invoice, I always send invoices, and it says how much it would cost normally. And then I might have a friends and family discount, maybe. So don't call me asking for it if you know I have no idea who you are. Okay. Or it might be for a specific group. So I might have a rate for this group. But I always make sure that everyone understands at the end, there is an actual value for this, no matter what you paid for it. And I want you to treat it for the value that it is. Okay. And so, with that in mind, because it's a conversation that I have all the time, I finally made it into an actual seminar, which I shared for the first time last year at the Diva Mastermind Retreat, which we're getting ready for. And so it's called Know Your Value, Know Your Worth. So got to do the seminar. We recorded it. That webinar is going to be available basically July 1st. June 29th is when everything kicks off, including the latest book, my latest of 3 books, Know Your Value, Know Your Worth. You can't find it anywhere until June 29th. You can only get it if you're in person at the event on June 29th. And then I believe July 1st, it'll be there for the rest of the public. See, special, come on in. All right. So wanted to share that with you all because we're here for you. And so for those of you who've been struggling because you're not confident enough to ask for the raise, you don't know how to ask for the raise, you don't know how to tell people what you're charging, or you're constantly giving away your information for free, let this be the moment where that stops. All right? We want you to be successful. We want you to be as best you can. And we want you to live better, do better, be better. And that's why we say happy entrepreneuring. Until next time, ta-ta.
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.